All right, happy holidays. This is week 13 with Top 10. I'm Lionel. My number 10 team this week is the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, that's right. The Pack is back, guys. Listen, Jordan Love went into the game this week against Pat Mahomes, and they won that game. Green Bay is back. They're my number 10 this week, the Green Bay Packers. They really know what they're doing in Green Bay. My number 9 team this week is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Jacksonville almost fell out of my top 10 because they lost a big game last night versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Trevor Lawrence is hurt, so we don't know the details of that injury, but it was a bad night for Jacksonville. Jacksonville's still in my top 10. They're number 9. Now, my number 8 team this week is the Houston Texans. Now, C.J. Stroud and those guys, they learning how to win. They win on a weekly basis now. It's almost not any new news when they play. They win games. Houston is in my top 10. They're my number 8. My number 7 team this week is the Detroit Lions. Now, Detroit played against the Saints. Tough game when you play the Saints in New Orleans. Detroit won it. So Detroit still stays in the top 10. Detroit is ascending again. They're my number 7 team. My number 6 team this week is the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins had a walk in the park versus the Washington Commanders. Miami Dolphins still playing at a high level and being consistent. They're my number 6 team this week. My number 5 team this week at top 10 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Kansas City struggled this week. Kansas City had a game this week versus Green Bay and couldn't pull it off. Generally, they pull games off in the last seconds, but they didn't get the break this week. KC ends up dropping a little bit to number 5, Kansas City Chiefs. My number 4 team this week is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys outlasted Seattle. They made it interesting versus Seattle, but Dallas is a top 4 team, and no one can deny the Cowboys. They are a top 4 team. My number 3 team this week, the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, guys, Philadelphia is still in my top 3. They took a beating this week versus the San Francisco 49ers. Philly struggled. They just got beat down. But Philly's still an elite team, but they got run over by a buzzsaw. My number 2 team this week is the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens had a week off. That sometimes it's good to have a week off. Baltimore is my number 2 team in the National Football League. They play the defense, they play hard, and we all know they have a great organization in Baltimore. They're my number 2 team. The best team in the National Football League, and you know, I don't think it's a question. The best team in the National Football League right now as we speak is the San Francisco 49ers. Now the 49ers, as I say on a weekly basis, they have offense, defense, special teams. They're tough. They have an abundance of talent, a plethora of talent, as they would say. And their coaching, Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in the National Football League. I've said that now for weeks. Kyle Shanahan is special. He's off the chart. I love what the San Francisco 49ers are doing. If they stay at this pace, it's going to be hard to beat them down the road. San Fran is my number 1 team in the National Football League. This week, we're going to talk about the rookies. The top 3 rookies this week. Number 1 is Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta is a tight end for Detroit. Sam's out of Iowa. Iowa puts out a lot of tight ends. Sam Laporta had a great game this week. He caught for 140 yards and 9 grabs and 1 touchdown in the game versus the New Orleans Saints. Sam Laporta, a nice rookie tight end in Detroit. The second guy I'm going to mention for this week, I always mention this guy, is C.J. Stroud. And boy, he does it every week. He's consistent, guys. I guess that says he could be close to being a star. Stars do it every week. C.J. did it again this week for Houston. C.J. Stroud was legit. He led Houston to a nice victory this week, C.J. Stroud over Denver. The third rookie this week that I'll talk about is Puka Nacua. I love saying that name, guys. Puka Nacua for the Los Angeles Rams. He's a rookie out of BYU. Puka Nacua caught for over 100 yards. People say, who is Puka Nacua? Here's a guy comes out of nowhere, a free agent. He's the most prolific rookie in this rookie class of all the receivers. Puka Nacua, he's the real deal. He has everybody on the Rams watching him. Puka Nacua is legit. And that rounds off my top 3 rookies in the NFL this week.
All right, everyone, my name is Pamela Lowery, and of course, each and every week, I have the questions right here on Top 10. Now, Lionel, this week I got some questions in from Z from Chicago. What's up, Chi-Town? We love the questions that y'all send. And Z says, is San Francisco that much better than Philly? What's up, Philly?
Well, it looked that way. It was a beatdown. San Fran started slowly, and then when they gained that momentum, they physically beat Philadelphia down. Now, I've always said that Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. A lot of things you see happening on offense where guys are running wide open, that's designed. That's designed by Kyle Shanahan. I was privileged to work with Kyle in Atlanta. Kyle Shanahan is an elite coach, and I've always said that. And I think he's great.
Okay, ladies, this question is for you because Jordan Love is doing what he's supposed to do. He's hot, but is the Pack back?
Yes, the Pack, they're back. They're back. Listen, Green Bay, you got to give Green Bay credit because when they got rid of Brett Favre years ago and they brought in Aaron Rodgers, everybody said, what are you guys doing? And Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. Then Aaron Rodgers kind of got to the end of the rope and they allowed him to leave and they brought in Jordan Love. And listen, over the last 3 games, if he goes at that rate, people are going to do some forgetting there because, Jordan Love looked dynamic in the game the other night versus Kansas City Chiefs. He outplayed Pat Mahomes. Jordan Love, he's got mad skills.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
So, in other words, if he keeps doing what he's doing, oh boy, we forgotten about.
If he plays like he played in the last 3 weeks, Jordan Love could be the sky's the limit. He can be an elite quarterback in the National Football League. We all know that he's got a great arm. We all know he's got the big time arm. He had that coming out of college.
Okay, ladies, he said he had the big arm, okay? So this is a perfect example of stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Now, as we go into college sports, these kids work really hard in football. And we had Alabama playing Georgia, and then we have, of course, had Florida State. Florida State is undefeated, but they didn't even make it to the playoffs. So what's that about?
Well, it's just the committee wanting to get the best 4 teams into the playoffs. And when I look at Florida State, they have a really good team, but they lost their starting quarterback. And they played against Louisville the other night, and they looked average. Okay, good on defense, but looked average overall as a team. So the committee wants to get the best quarterback, the best team, the best people together. And when I look at Florida State, they didn't deserve to be in there. I would want Alabama in there. I would want Texas in there. Yes. So Florida State, sorry, but your quarterback got injured, and the committee is going to put the best teams out there.
You know what? It's just questions just like this that keep you all engaged right here on Top 10. And whether you agree or disagree, put it in the chat right here on Top 10.
All right, guys, that's a wrap up for week 13. Listen, I hope Santa puts everything under the tree that you're looking for your team. But until then, remember, everybody loves football.